Hey there guys, we're going to be going to Whisper Bahamut for a third clear. This time we're going to be using an Earth team, and I want to get Vanharma off the bench because I off-bannered him at some point, and this is probably the only time he's ever going to see use. So we're going to take an Earth-focused team to Whisper Bahamut and try to get a rank 1 yet again. I've done 3 videos at this point, or this is the 3rd video that I'm doing of the boss. Hopefully between the 3 teams I've done, one of them can be copied by you all, but this one is not using any of the bonus units. Okay, so we're going to start off with Esther doing just triple Stardust Ray to fill her LB gauge. We're going to use Lilith to do Bar Dark Jug because we're not covering magic, so we're going to have Dark Resist from that. We're going to use Sylvie to do Paladin's Defense to break the boss. We're going to do Vines for the magic mitigation and Burgeoning for the general mitigation. Chizuru can just guard on this turn. Wilk is going to start in the base, then go to the shift and use his LB to start stacking it up. And Vanharma can just guard this turn. Okay, so Sylvie's our provoker, by the way, because she's got high spirit, so it should be fine on her. Yeah, very minimal damage. She's wearing dark and fire resist, and the party has dark resist for the AoE because of Lilith. So we're going to go ahead and use Lilith's LB here. That's going to give us mitigation, so we still have it for turn 4 when Sylvie's will wear off. We're going to do Esther's Esther's field for, the field reasons. We're going to shift Sylvie here. And we're going to do triple clever. This is going to refill LB gauge on our Wilk. We're going to have Chizuru also do strong Eastern and staunch. And this will fill Wilk the rest of the way, guaranteed, with the gear we're using. So now we can use Hurricane Fist for to get himself set up with his Magnus unlock. Okay. Some more attacks, not too big of a deal. Now we've still got 85% general mitigation from Sylvie, so the turn 3 attacks should be fine. That said, we are going to go ahead and guard Esther. We're going to also guard Vanharma, just so they definitely take less damage. We're going to use Chizuru to focus Spirit for bigger Spirit buff and bigger mitigation. Wilk is now going to use Vengeance of the Dreadnought to do a 90 break. We're going to do double Betrayal, and then we're going to do the Killer with Lilith. She's bringing a 150 undead killer for us. And Sylvie in the shift form can just do her Earth Magnus, so that we're ready for big Earth damage on turn 5, which is going to be our kill turn. Okay, so fixed damage this turn, it should be very much fine. It is. We took a little bit of damage on Wilt because he's not guarding, but whatever, it's fine. Alright, turn 4, we're going to get ready for killing next turn, which means we're going to Tyvis' Spirit our Chizuru. We're going to Tyvis' Spirit our Vanharma. Now, if I had a 3rd copy, we'd Tyvis Spirit Lilith as well. I don't have a 3rd copy, so she'll just guard here. Esther is going to do Magnus and then double fill her LB gauge. And then you can use Undead Killer with Esther if you're not using Lilith, but we are, so we don't need her Undead Killer. Sylvie's going to shift the LB, and Wilk will go to the base form. We'll do Focused Earth, his Magnus, and then, doesn't really matter, just fill his LB gauge. Okay, and we're going to kill next turn. Should be minimal damage this turn. Yeah, just some AoE Dark, we're immune thanks to Lilith, and then some Fire and Dark on Sylvie, which she's provoking. Okay, on this turn, we're going to use Sylvie to not entrust, well, yes, but I've got your back on Vanharma for the bigger LB damage buff. Because he it's his show, we want him to do good damage. So he's going to LB, Wilk's going to shift an LB. Chizuru is going to shift an LB. Esther's going to LB, and so is Lilith. And we're just going to go ahead and send everyone, and that should be the 100 count chain score, and 10.7 or better. And somewhere in there, Vanharma hit. He does properly cap an Extreme Nova Chain, which is kind of convenient. And 10.7 or better. Looking for good numbers. 13.6. Overcapped by 2 billion, so we're good. or 3 billion actually. Yeah, so heavy overcap. So you don't need the gear this good, etc. You know, I did kind of use my best, so the gear is decent, but we overcapped by a lot. So how did we do? Esther did 3.3. She did get the Dark Vision's katana, so she got the best weapon. Lilith did 2.2. She also did a 150 undead killer. Sylvie support. Vanharma did 3. Chizuru did 3. And then Wilk did 1.9. Sad face Wilk. My Vanharma is only EX1 though. At EX3 he would have done a little better. But yeah, there is a perfect score. And we were 3 billion over. Everyone did about 3 or less. So any individual unit in this party is replaceable. So if you don't have one of them, they can be replaced. That being said, Lilith was our killer buffer. Esther does a smaller buff if you don't have Lilith. Wilk was our breaker, and he did deal some damage, so you can't replace Wilk without replacing the break. Chizuru and Vanharma were literally just damage. But Chizuru was the katana in peril for Esther, who is using katana. Anyway, I'll show you the gear. So Esther, Dark Vision katana, like I said, I used my best here. So Dark Vision's katana, chain cap up, etc. LB damage versus undead, and she is maxed on everything. She brings the field and decent damage. Lilith brings the undead killer and okay-ish damage. She did what, I think 2.2 or something. That said, I don't have enough copies of Typhus' Spirit to go around. If I did have another Typhus' Spirit, it would have gone on her, and her damage would have improved. But you know, I don't have enough copies. So maxed OB and maxed Reaper. Sylvie is our passive provoker with dark and fire resist. Other than that, high spirit, and that's her build. Shift form, same thing. Vanharma was LB damage versus undead, and there's his setup. Mine's only EX1. You know, he can do better. You know, I did say Vanharma does decent damage, and it is true. He's very one-dimensional, but he hits pretty hard, and he's getting power crept, you know, as the days go on. So I wanted to use him at least once before he permanently goes into the vault and never seen again. Wilk, base form, whatever. Oh, I was supposed to wear Titus's guard. Whoops, I forgot to put on Titus's guard. That would have been a big damage increase. It would have been a really big damage increase. Wow. That would have been like 2.6 or something if he had done that. Whoopsie. Forgot about it. I messed it up. Anyway, shift form was damage. Now we're using Dragon's Brush and Call of the Wild. That way we get guaranteed LB refilled on turn 2 with the turn chart that I put out there. And there we go. And I can't believe I forgot Typhus's garb. I can't believe. It would have been just, not that it mattered, but it would have been better. I forgot it. Whoops. Chizuru, just using Typhus's Spirit. Shift form, LB damage versus undead. And there we go. Cool smile card, of course. It's very good for her. And then that's it. That's the whole party. Okay, so that's probably the 3 teams I'm going to be doing for the Whisper Bahamut. And then tomorrow I'll look into maybe some cheaper teams for like the Arsenal or the Rufus fight. Those felt very easy and not really needing of rerun guides, but I'll see. If let me know in the comments if you're having problems with Arsenal or Rufus, and I'll see what I can do. So there you go. See you in a bit.